Students of Success, Dr. Mike here. Today I wanted to touch on a topic. Basically, are you passing on your pain? What does this mean? Most of you are probably younger that are watching my videos, but I want you to think about something. Think about different pains that you have in your life and about passing them on to your kids. I was out to dinner the other night and I saw a family eating. Both parents were obese, overweight, and then I look over and they had 3 kids, and all 3 of those kids were following in the same steps. Now, as a young kid, I would assume those adults felt horrible about themselves, had low self-esteem, low confidence, and their health wasn't very well. So now, as adults, they are passing that same pain onto their kids, probably without really even knowing it. But think about it. There are other things in your life that you could be passing on. You could be passing along pains of making an excuse, pains of smoking, pains of... So I'll give you an example. Whenever I was a kid, the thing that got passed on to me was excuses and blaming other people. And in specific, as to my education. I was a lazy kid. I didn't put forth any effort, but when I taught my parents, since they didn't go to college, they were always telling me, well, it's probably the teacher's fault. I would hear this, or it's the coach's fault you're not getting playing time, or all that. And there was a lot of pain in my life growing up, knowing that I was at the bottom of the barrel, thinking I was stupid, and I didn't want my kids to feel that way. I didn't want to push that pain on to the next generation of my kids. So I made a conscious effort to my wife together. She didn't have that pain, but I did, that my kids were not going to feel that way. So from the time they were born, we were always reading them books. Our dining room was actually like a big classroom for all 3 of them. Everything was, we allowed them to put stickers on the wall. They had the alphabet. They had everything education we could possibly do. So I didn't want there to be any excuses. I wanted them to be able to live a life of confidence in their education. So I see this where my kids went to the same, we started them off in private school, then they went to a public school, and I sat on the school board, and I would hear parents complaining nonstop about this teacher and that teacher and everything, and I'm like, that's pretty strange, because my kids had those exact same teachers, and they all graduated in the top 10 of their class, are all off in major degrees. My son just got accepted to medical school yesterday. That's what made me think about this. And I'm like, that was one vice that I did not pass on to my kids. So think about it. Are there any vices of yours that you had as a painful time as a child that you're passing on to your children? Especially the weight thing. And if you don't have kids yet, just become aware of the things that are painful in your life as a young adult or they were as a child, and be mindful of that at some point when you do have kids, because you are the number one role model that your kids look up to. No matter what people say, I don't care what age you are, if you're 50 years old, you still look back at your parents because it shapes your time. So how are you shaping the people that you care about? So I just wanted to reach out today, and remember, there are only so many tomorrows. So be that role model for your kids. Try to eliminate the pains that you felt as a child, and let them live their best life based on the help that you've given them from your mistakes that you've lived in your life. So take care, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.